To compare any two decimal numbers, the first thing we do is we compare the whole number parts. If one whole number is greater than another, the entire decimal number is greater. If the whole numbers are the same, then go on to step 2. So what this first step is saying is the first thing you do is you look at your whole numbers. And if your whole numbers are different, then you can stop right there and decide which number is bigger. The second rule says, now this is if your whole numbers are the same, then you go on to step 2. Make each number have the same number of digits in the decimal part by adding zeros to the end of the decimal part of the number that has fewer digits. So whichever number has fewer digits behind the decimal, add enough zeros to make it look like the other one. Then once you do that, you can compare the decimal parts. Now let's use that rule to help us use the correct symbol between these numbers. 2.7, 1.98. First thing we're supposed to do is to look at their whole numbers. The first one's whole number is 2. The second one's whole number is 1. So since 2 is a bigger whole number than 1, that makes the first number bigger. Doesn't matter about its decimal part. You look at the whole number part first. So since 2 is bigger than 1, we know that 2 7/10 is bigger than 1 98/100. Let's look at another example. This one is 4 687 thousandths. We want to compare to 4 7/10. Now, if you look at the whole numbers here, you notice that they're the same. So now we have to go to the decimal part. Well, one way to do this is to make each decimal part have the same number of digits. So since this one has 3 digits, I can add 2 zeros here and make it have 3 digits. So now my decimal part in the first one is 687 thousandths and the second one is 700 thousandths. And I know that 687 is less than 700, so that makes my decimal number 4.687 less than 4.7. Another way to have gotten that answer would have been just to look place by place. Since the whole number's place is the same, then you go to the tenths. This one has 6/10. This one has 7/10. 6/10 is less than 7/10. So that makes my first number less. Let's look at another one. 2 39/100. We want to compare to 2 39/100 10,000ths. So if we look at our whole numbers first, they have the same whole numbers. So if we want to make our two numbers have the same number of decimal digits, this one has 4 digits behind the decimal, so I need to add 2 zeros to make the other one have 4 decimal digits. So that makes them both turn into 3,910 thousandths. So that's going to make them equal. If you compare place by place, in each place we have the same digits. The last thing we want to talk about in today's lesson is rounding decimals. Let's first of all round the decimal number 6.387, or we'd read that 16.387, and we'd read that 16 387 thousandths. We want to round that to tenths. What that means is when we write our number down, we only want to have tenths. We don't want to have any more decimal places. So to round it to tenths, what I do is I write down my whole number. I'm going to get up to my tenths place, and then I have to make a decision of how many tenths to use. Do I want 3/10 or do I want to go up 1/10 and make it 4/10? So here's my tenths. I look one digit over to the side. Since the next digit is an 8, that means I need to take my 3 up 1 and make it 4/10. So if I round that to tenths, it would be 16 and 4/10. You don't want to fill in the other places with zeros, because if you do, it won't look like tenths. It will look like something else. So you just want to have 16 and 4/10. Let's look at another example. Let's round 934.2935 to thousands. So if I'm going to round to thousands, I'm going to write my whole number down, 934 point, and I only want to have thousands over here, so I need to have 3 decimal numerals over here. So the 3 is in the thousandths place, so the numbers before that, the 2 and the 9, are going to stay the same, and when I come to my thousandths, I've got to decide whether to leave it a 3 or to make it a 4. Well, I decide by looking to the right. When I look to the right, I see a 5. So that tells me that I need to take it up 1. When you have 5 or more, you go up. So that makes this become a 4. So my 293 thousandths rounded off to 294 thousandths. So my number would be 934 and 294 thousandths. I want to be able to see thousandths there when I look at my rounded number. Let's look at another one. This time, I'm asking us to round to the nearest whole number. Round 18.543 to the nearest whole number. Well, when we're rounding to the nearest whole number, we're not really wanting to have any decimal places left. So what I want to have is either 18 or 19. My whole number right now is 18. And I'm either going to take that whole number up 1 or I'm going to stay where it is. Well, to decide whether to keep a whole number of 18 or to go up 1, I have to come over here and look at my first decimal. So that's my whole number. I have to look at my first decimal point, which is a 5, and being 5 there, it tells me to go up 1. So when I round to the nearest whole number, I'll round to 19. Look at one more. This one asks us to do something different. This one says to round to tens. And that's the kind of thing when we were working in the whole number unit. Now, the fact that it says tens and doesn't have a th on the end, then I'm going to go on my whole number side and I'm going to find the number that's in the tens place. 8 is in the tens place, so I'm going to try to decide whether to make it 480 or whether to make it 490. So I'm going to put my 4 down, and then I've got to write either an 8 here or a 9, and the thing that tells me is that next digit of 2 there. Since it's less than 5, I'm going to keep the 8 in the tens place, an 8. And since I'm on the whole number side, I do have to fill in the extra digit with a 0. You only fill in the extra digits with a 0 on the whole number side. I wouldn't want to put a point and zeros over there on the decimal side. So what this is saying is 482.13 closer to 480 or is it closer to 490? And because of the 2 there, it's closer to 480. Now, if we had wanted to take our number 482.13 and round to tenths, the th would be the key that we're working on the decimal side. Then we'd be interested in this place. So we put 482. And we either want to put 0.1 or 0.2. And because of the 3 being less than 5, we would keep it 1/10. We wouldn't change anything. And we wouldn't fill the extra places in with zeros because we want to just see tenths there.